Today is the 31st Sunday of Ordinary Time, Cycle B. The whole book of Deuteronomy is a long speech by Moses. In today's reading, the people of Israel are about to enter the promised land. Moses warns them that prosperity will lead to the notion of self-reliance and the false belief that they do not need God. He told them that if they wish to enjoy prosperity in the land for a long time, they must be obedient to God. He also recites the prayer that they should pray often so as not to forget their dependence on God. The prayer is called the Shema Israel. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is God. He is the only Lord. You will love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your efforts. For devout Jews, this scripture passage represents the heart of their faith and is the most popular to be inserted in phylacteries. Those are little boxes that devout Jews wear on their foreheads, or on their wrists, on their arms, or put into mezuzahs, a small opening mounted in the door frame. The physical closeness of this scripture passage is supposed to be a constant reminder that will promote obedience to God's commands. When asked, what is the greatest commandment? Jesus replies, the Shema Israel. And then he adds Leviticus 19:18, to love your neighbor as yourself. The Jewish understanding of to love your neighbor as yourself is to treat your neighbor as a member of your tribe and a blood relative. What does to love with all your heart mean? Such love cannot be measured. It has no limits, whereas laws has limits. To love with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength, means to love God with your whole being. You know, if you deeply love someone, for good or for bad, madly in love, you could close your eyes and you'll see that person. You could hear their voice. You could smell whatever cologne or fragrance they wear. You could feel their voice. You could feel their presence. If you love someone with all your being, no sacrifice would be too great to please the one you love. You will willingly give your life for the one you love. It will also pain you to see the one you love unhappy. If we truly love God and our families, we would avoid sins that hurt them. True love is unconditional love, which does not expect anything in return. St. John asks us, how can we claim to love a God we cannot see and despise a neighbor we can see? Again, our relationship with God is vertical while our relationship with our neighbor is horizontal. If we combine the two, horizontal and vertical, we will have a cross, not as a punishment, but as the burden of a struggling brother or sister who we ought to be glad to help. Jesus' understanding of neighbor is anyone who needs help, especially those whose needs are the greatest. And we give because there is a need. Half of the world goes to sleep hungry. Within that group, a third of the world is seriously undernourished or starving, and even lack the basic necessities of life, such as clothing and shelter. My brothers and sisters, most of us have witnessed or experienced the sufferings of poverty and have made promises to God that if ever we had the opportunity in the future to help, we would help. Compared to most of the world, we are enjoying prosperity, but have forgotten our promises. What sacrifices are we prepared now to make known and to demonstrate our love